Hey everybody, welcome again to Willie's American Guitars. We got something special in, and I'm going to say it, this is probably the most undervalued vintage guitar model on the market. What? Yeah. This is a Les Paul Special. So in 1954, Fender came out with the Stratocaster. And it was another step in the whole solid body revolution. Keep in mind, the Broadcaster was 1950. That's the first solid body guitar developed so you didn't have to have feedback. Solid body guitars prevent feedback. Audiences during that time period kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the demands on the bands were for more volume and less feedback on stage. It became an annoyance. So they developed the solid body guitar. Leo Fender came out with the Strat. Gibson came out the next year with the Les Paul. Fender came out with the Stratocaster. And did I say Strat? It was the Broadcaster, Telecaster. And then they came out in 54 with the Stratocaster. Gibson in 55 came out with this as a price point. It was priced about as much as the Stratocaster. Now what it didn't have is all the Stratocaster's slick vibrato, 3 pickups, tummy cut. It was pretty revolutionary. What Gibson offered though is high quality craftsmanship. They would offer you a single sheet Honduran mahogany body, one that is ancient wood the day it was made, aged for years in their lumber yard. The day it was made, it was already quite old, and old growth, large trees, the likes of which are no longer around. Whatever's left of giant trees is largely protected. So there is some windfall in timber. We won't get into that right now, but part of the reason vintage guitars sound so good and are so desirable is the wood itself. You have this thick sheet of Honduran mahogany, a one-piece Honduran neck, an old neck or old wood, a Brazilian rosewood board, and then the fine Gibson craftsmanship. And they knew how to finish guitars without plasticizers. They would be able to fill the pores of the wood and prep the wood. I am playing through a 1957, this is a 56 Champ, just so you can hear it, right? These guitars have 2 P90s, which was kind of revolutionary. And again, these older pickups are a different magnetic blend, and they've aged or demagnetized a little bit. That gives them this gorgeous sound. So as a musical instrument, these seem undervalued compared to new guitars. If a new guitar had a Brazilian board, if a new guitar had this old ancient timbers and these mixes of magnetics, the new guitars would be pretty close to this price that we're offering it now, which is about the price of a refinished Strat. So the Special, they made about 1,300 guitars in 1956. First year, 55 for this. Then in 56, they made about 13, and they continued to make over 1,000 guitars. On the Juniors, they made triple that. The one pickup Juniors. The one pickup Juniors go for more. A TV Junior is an expensive guitar. Just because it looks cooler. That's it. It's just design. But honestly, the second pickup in these, with their lightweight and this TV finish, is in the furniture business is called pickled mahogany. And it's what they made a lot of television cabinets out of, but it is a pickled mahogany, which you'll see of Herman Miller and a lot of furniture designers from the 40s and 50s using this type of finish. Clean up quite well when you turn them down, and they got a famous growl. I'm going to bring up this amp just a little bit. position, it's out of phase. And that happens when somebody loads in magnets and they are slightly off and don't match the output of the other pickup. Sometimes people don't like that. I love that. You get that out of phase sound on a Strat. Neck pickup. This guitar, clean, original, unbroken, 100% original, comes with its original brown case. When you bought this, typically you would get the cheaper plywood, or not plywood, is actually cardboard case. So the soft-sided case, these cases cost about a third of what the guitar did. So the guitar is about 200 bucks. The case was about 80 bucks, $79. And this pickled finish, it's got some buckle wear in the back. Here, I'm going to bring it up so you can see. You can see it has some buckle wear in the back. This is an original finish on the back of the neck. The tuners are new. The original tuners are in the case, but we put some aged tuners on there so you can just wang away on it and not worry. It's a 56. The top is very clean. Original knobs, original screws, original switch tip, original bridge, original finish. There has never been any sort of anything on there. That is original on it. It is just a really clean, look at that right there. That, when the finish goes over the nut, you know the nut's never been off. There's plenty of fret left. This wasn't played left much. This came from a woman who got it in 1961 and decided not to play. It happens. She got it as a gift when she was 17 years old and then called us and we said, yes, we're very interested. I had one of these when I was a kid in high school in 1955. I loved that guitar and took it with me everywhere. I was in college with that guitar, and I just have always had a spot for these. But I still say, in the vintage guitar world, for utility, these things are great. And just as a icon, as a collectible, forget all the wood and all the great tones and how it rumbles in your lap. It's just a collectible. It's a symbol of American culture. It's a symbol of rock and roll. 1956 is Elvis is just starting to come out. Rock and roll was just starting to change the world, and this fine instrument is part of that legacy. So there you go. I'm going to put it back in its nice pink lined brown hard shell case. I'm going to turn off my matching 57 tweed amplifier, and I'm going to say goodbye, and thanks for checking in. Thanks for all the kind words. Do come, make an appointment. Call us anytime. We'll send you a sound sample, whatever you need. We'll have this thing just came in a few hours ago. I'll have it priced as soon as I get to it.